This video is for entertainment purposes only. God body. What's going on, baby? Nurse Moonshine. Hey, honey. Hey, Shantae Doonigan. How are you? I just got on here. How y'all doing? Hey, Krista. Mia. Yeah, I had to get like one electrolyte in a day because of my program that I'm under. And everything I'm eating as far as the food is all fat burning foods. So I have to get in one electrolyte a day because I do work out. That's what you guys see me drinking today. Caught me in the middle of, you're a teacher. Every time you come around the people, I learn something new. Boom. M. Arvo, what's going on? That's supposed to come out tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be AI. The person that she's teaming up with knows a lot about AI and knows a lot about, he's very tech savvy, this individual. But that's going to be nothing but AI voiceovers, so I don't care about that. If the people are stupid enough to believe that, then that falls on them. I'm not here to help anyone discern at this point. I already know what that is. I already saw what is. I know what that is. But aside from that, I got on the live because I wanted to talk about current events. Because there is a lot going on right now in the world. So I wanted to talk about that. I'm working out, need to start eating all fat burning foods. Yeah, I got a service called the Quantum Itch Melt System, and it does come with a menu with different foods that you eat that continues the fat burning process until you lose the weight that you want to lose. You also download a quantum system within the body, and then there are certain affirmations and certain things that you have to say to turn on the quantum system within the body so it's active. And starts helping you actually start losing the inches on the body, and it's definitely helped me out tremendously. So, yeah. None of that stuff is going on. Thank you very much. I love when you give commentary on current events. That's why I'm here. But I'm going to watch B-Dell's far. But I was going to watch B-Dell Far RJ. What? What? He's going loud, Trippy Red? Oh no, that was a previous video? I hope that's a previous. His shadow's down on his live right now? Right now? Oh boy. Damn. Oh, damn. It ain't even like that, man. This is what she wanted. She wanted that to happen. That's what she wanted. Now she's going to capitalize off the energy. Oh my God. I've been doing good. Oh my God. Oh man. Hi, baby. Someone said I got both of y'all on. Oh, damn. Should I get off here and wait till he's done and come back? I saw when Arcades went in. That was days ago, right? That was days ago. He's going in. Okay, well, you know what? That's okay, listen. Let me just say this one thing. Let me just get this out. I know what this is and I know what this is about. And you're absolutely correct. People have different sight. It's gotten to a point to where I don't want to be bothered with it anymore. You know what I'm saying? It was just like especially after I saw someone that I considered to be a son to me, jump over on that side. I'm like, oh, you're thirsty. Okay. Well, that's the game you want to play, so be it. But I'm not going to entertain that because I already know what that's about. There comes a point in time, guys, when you have to know when to rise above certain situations. There comes a time when you have to kind of just step away from certain things because I see that dark energy over certain individuals, and I know what that is. And it's not something that I can allow myself to continue to keep getting caught up in. I said what I needed to say. I deaded it as far as I'm concerned. At anything at this point, it's going to be up to the public to be able to properly discern. It's not my job to have anyone, for me to discern for people. I came out, I addressed it for what it was. I said what I needed to say. And that's it. Now, it's up to y'all now who continue to entertain the energy to be able to discern as to whether or not you think that that's real or you think that it's not. That's something that you guys are going to have. This is going to be a test for every single last one of you to be able to discern. But I didn't say what I needed to say about the situation. I'm not going to say nothing else anymore about it. Yeah. My comments are off. I've excited like 5 times. Can't see any comments. What? So here's what I'm going to tell you what's really happening on a deeper level. And I'm going to get to current events. So I'm going to talk about these things. When you look at this from a worldwide perspective, energetic wise, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but right now the conditions are actually ripe for what we call another Carrington event. Okay? And I don't know if you guys know about the Carrington event that took place back in 1859, where the sun went haywire. And the aurora borealis was seen damn near everywhere on the planet and went as far down south as probably Mexico, and maybe further south than that. Right now, I was looking at Mr. MBB333's Instagram channel, and he was stating that it is ripe. All the conditions are ripe for another Carrington event to take place. What I'm going to say is that ever since the Great Split has taken place, there's been a lot of people that's been going haywire. A lot of people has been going haywire. And there comes a point in your life where you have to say to yourself, what is it that I'm choosing to entertain at this time? What is it that I want to entertain, and what is it that I want to put my energy into, or what is it that I want to address certain things with or give too much time on. Now, I am petty. I am very petty. Okay? So, as a Leo, with a Cancer moon, that's double the petty. It's like petty on 10, right? So, of course, and I know I'm petty, but so of course I'm going to say what I'm going to say. But after I say what I'm going to say, I'm going to continue to move forward. Okay? The energy definitely feels different now. Y'all heard about the secret weapon Trump talked about called the discombobulator? No, and that sounds like Cap. That sounds like Cap right there. Why does that sound? The discombobulator, fam? That's the name of the weapon, and you're actually falling for that? The discombobulator? Are you serious right now? You're not serious, are you? You're not serious. That's Cap. What's going What the? This is what. Hey, baby. My son's on here. This is what I mean when I say about see, they said the discombobulator. That's Cap. If they're really calling that is super duper Cap. Someone said cosmic Cap. Indeed, cosmic Cap. Super duper Cap. Okay? So keep feathers up. I'm not trying to. Okay. Critical thinking. Yes. So when you guys come on here and you say things like that, I'm going to need you to really think about it before you bring it to the table. I'm going to need you to put some thought into that. Like, does that sound like something that he would come up with? Like, does that sound like something that's actually legit? Trump comes up with a secret weapon called the discombobulator. Come on, fam. Discernment and synchronicities are an all-time high. So someone said, niggas need several naps. His comment was a secret weapon to distract the point. Listen. These Epstein files that they released out there, almost 3 million files out there that's released out there, is crazy work. I've been looking at that stuff, and let me just say this, before I even give my opinion about anything that's going on here with that. First of all, do not pull me into your political rhetoric. I don't give a damn about politics. My people ain't benefited from it, so I don't give a damn about it. Let's just start there, okay? I don't care about corporate politics. I don't care about that corporate presidency. I ain't got no dog in that race, okay? I ain't got no dog in that race. So when I give my opinions, it's just a straight opinion. This ain't got nothing to do with left. This ain't got nothing to do with the right. Because that is one of the greatest dividers if I've ever seen it, is this whole political energy that's over the climate and over the political climate that's over the people. The people should have never got themselves caught up in that. Okay? It was never meant for the people to begin with. And you're not going to outdo the Electoral College at the end of the day. So, I heard just the back and forth that's been going on because of a lot of division. I don't care. Okay? The energy weapons have been coming into play for quite some time. I mean, this is nothing new under the sun. Okay? Let me just say that. Yes, I'm live, baby, at Kennedy. Yes, I am. Someone said left wing, right wing, same bird. Boom. Thank you, baby. My mice, I know this is off topic, but I had a dream about, nah, I'm not doing that with you right now, baby. I gotta focus on what I need to talk about, and that ain't gonna be no dreams, baby. Come back to me later about the dream. So they released all these files, right? And there's a lot of stuff that they leaked out there to the public that I think that the DOJ wish they wouldn't have leaked out there. And interesting enough, there's a couple of names that came up, and that's why I'm having this conversation, because there's two names that came up. Now I'm going to put some things into a different perspective for you, to make you guys think about a couple of things. They're saying that Jay-Z supposedly was caught up in this thing as far back as 1996? What year was it he put out Reasonable Doubt? I think it was 1996. Whatever it was right before he put out Reasonable Doubt. Right before he put out the album Reasonable Doubt. They're saying that he got caught up with Harvey Weinstein. And I don't even know exactly where Pusha T fits into that, because Pusha would have been very young. So I'm not exactly sure where he fits into the picture on that. I got to actually go back and look at that to see what age they said that Pusha was a part of this as well. Part of me doesn't believe that. As far as Jay-Z and Pusha T, only because of the simple fact that I'm looking at it from the standpoint, if they would have said in his later years, if they'd have said when he became president of Def Jam, that would have been believable to me. That would have been believable to me. And the reason why it would have been believable to me at that time was because I saw the politics. I saw how he was moving during that time period. You got to remember, I was in the music industry. I saw how he was moving at that time, and he was making a lot of moves, okay, that would suggest that he wasn't for his people. This is when Dame Dash and him fell out and all that craziness, and he wasn't even coming over to the Rockefeller Records offices or anything like that. Cam started coming in, all that type of stuff. If they would have said this took place during the time period of when he actually became president of Def Jam, I would have believed it. I most certainly 10%, 110% would have believed it. And the reason why I would have believed it, because at that time, that's whenever Lyor Cohen and them, and you got to know who Lyor Cohen is because he's a Jew. Okay? Very well connected. I would have believed that then. But they're saying that he did this before Reasonable Doubt came out. I don't know, y'all. I know y'all want to believe that. I just believe that may have happened, but I don't think it happened during the time period that they're saying it happened. And for all we know, they might have just put that out there to confuse us on the time period of when it actually took place, for all we know. But I don't believe that happened during the time period because Jay-Z was still a dope boy back then. He was still selling drugs. I remember when Hov used to come down to the DMV and sell drugs. He used to go out to the beach. Okay? He was a dope boy back then. Okay? When Damon and them niggas, they was out there getting money. All right? So that, during that time period, no, I don't see that. I don't see. And then they try to say that Pusha T was there and watching it when they went down. I definitely don't believe that because first of all, how old was Pusha T when that would have happened? It's cap. I just feel like that's a bunch of cap right there. Either they're getting their timelines mixed up, or they just put that stuff out there just to have everybody talking about it. But none of it makes any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. Pusha T wasn't even known back then. They didn't even know who the hell Pusha T was. Timelines. Yeah, it has to be. Because, like I said, if they would have said that would have happened around the time period when he signed when he became president of Def Jam, I definitely would have believed that then. Because you got to take into consideration, if you look at Jay's success from the time that he became president of Def Jam up past that point, you could clearly see something occurred during that time period. And remember, he slid in and became president of Def Jam right before 50 Cent blew up. If you guys remember. Because at that time, 50 Street movement was crazy up in New York and on the East Coast. It was crazy. So Jay did tell cats, yo, 50's coming. So Jay was like, let me get myself in position because I know he's coming and that's going to be a run. And it's exactly what it was, what he said that it was going to be. It was going to be a run. 50 had, what, a 10-year run? So Jay-Z positioned himself in such a way, just in the nick of time, he was like, let me go ahead and get on up out of here. And let me position myself a certain way. And let me go ahead and start getting into this corporate game. Now, from the time that he did that up until now, you would clearly see something happen within his career where he was able to make some very powerful moves and he made some very powerful connections. When you got Lear Cohen on your side at that time, because they were courting him at that time. When you got people like that on your side, Kevin Lyons teamed up with Lear Cohen. When you got those guys teaming up, and then all the people that they know who's moving and shaking and can make certain moves and things like that, that I believe is during the time period of when those things could have possibly have taken place. But this is pure speculative. Okay, this is not factual. It's speculative. I pay attention to people's careers and when they jump and how they jump, how successful they become. Now, some might say, well, Isis, he started really, getting with Beyonce at that time, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, that's true. But Beyonce wasn't a big star at that time. Destiny Child was big, but they weren't that big during that time period. Okay? Jay made certain moves. He made certain strategic moves on a corporate level that got him to where he needed to go. But those doors would have never opened to him if it wasn't for Lear Cohen. Okay? Jay was picked a long time before he jumped. You know what? He may have been. And I'm not saying that he wasn't. He may have been. But I know during a time period whenever he was running with Dame and Dame was running the show, Dame was getting money. Jay was getting money. I remember when them Negroes was coming down to the DMV and getting money. I remember when he was coming down to Ocean City, Maryland. I remember that. Okay? During that time period, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And also, you guys got to remember that time when he stabbed on Lance Rivera from Entertainment, which was the same company that Biggie was supposed to team up with on to start a new label. Him and Junior Mafia, he was going to take Lil' Kim with him until that got sabotaged by Diddy. Okay? Y'all got to remember, Jay stabbed him. So Jay wasn't really, at that time, he was still a hood nigga at that time. He was still hood. He wasn't. So the time that they're trying to say it happened, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, she was being lined up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, at Hidden Roots Clothing, here's what I'm going to tell y'all. I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell everybody else. Our people don't get that type of power and success in that space like that unless they're willing to do some type of rituals. I'm telling you that right now, and it doesn't matter who you are, Dame included. It doesn't matter who you are. That's the prerequisite to get a surmountable amount of success. They're not going to tell you that, but that is the prerequisite. I want you guys to understand who's the gatekeepers, who are the door openers and the door closers. You don't get to make that kind of money with those types of people unless you are in bed with those types of people. And if you know what those type of people are about, then there's your answer. You're going to have to do something. Now, it may not require you to give up your butt. It may not require, but it may require you to participate in maybe drinking something. Okay? Drinking something. We'll call it the red cocktail. If you pick up what I'm putting down. If you know, you know. It may require you to participate in certain rituals. It may require you to participate in certain sexual rituals, okay, with certain individuals that are very powerful, that can't get it nowhere else, so they got to go ahead and get it from you and go ahead and siphon your energy and utilize it for what they needed to use, what they need to utilize it for. Okay, I want you guys to understand, don't think it's just men doing this. There's a lot of women in the business that does this as well. A lot of older women that are in high positions of power that does the exact same thing. But they don't talk about that because they don't ever get exposed. Well, you know what I had to, you know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. They ain't calling it selling your soul for nothing. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So you got fools out here today that are selling their soul for pennies on the dollar. You got fools out here today that are doing rituals for $50,000, $60,000, putting people away, coming after our people, selling our people down the drain, participating in all types of crazy rituals, and they getting paid $50,000, $60,000, pennies on the dollar. So don't think that people won't do that, because they will do it for anything, for any reason at this day and time. Diana Ross definitely was his handler, but his pops was his handler for the longest. His pops was his handler. See, y'all look right past his pops. I don't know how y'all do that. I don't know how the hell y'all looking past his father. Because he damn sure was his handler for a very long time. My grandfather was a 33rd degree Mason who sacrificed my cousin. Big Key 77. Wow. Hey, Mr. 720. How you doing, baby? I'm talking about current events, baby. Someone said he looked like the devil. What's the devil look like? You told us in the previous live that parents can indeed be handlers. Boom. And that's one of the biggest secrets. Especially if you're an original, you most definitely can believe, best believe, that if you are an original, your parents are the handlers of who you are. Best believe that. Okay, someone said the one they made up on TV. Okay, so let's go ahead and dispel that myth real quick so we can stop talking about this type of stuff, because it's kind of crazy to me. First of all, what we're not going to do is we're not going to say the devil, because Satan is not the devil. Satan is actually, well, he was a fallen angel. Now he's healing. Okay, that's crazy. Lucifer was a fallen angel. Now she's healing. Okay, but when they were in their fallen angel state, okay, they're fallen angels. So, what is the devil? What is the devil? Because a lot of you guys go ahead and run down the block with these images that these people have created, and they told you that it was the devil. Now, my question to you is, what if you saw a horned being, and that horned being was actually benevolent or neutral? Are you going to think that that individual or that being is the devil? I just want to know. It's something to think about, okay? Mr. Magnificent Hands. Their child. Interesting. And who's their child? AOB. Hey. Someone said Hellboy, not real. Well, let me take that back. I need to check the Akashic records on that one, because he in fact could be real, but he wouldn't be associated with them. Hey, Angelic Mo, how you doing? What if the devil is within based on your own low vibrations? We negate accountability. Boom, and that's all. That's the point That's the point I was trying to make. Is that people utilize these excuses because they don't want to take any accountability, or people blame God whenever people leave the earth sooner than when they're supposed to leave. Okay, they be like, God took this, and no, he didn't. No, God did not take. No, that's incorrect information. The person who killed the individual is who took the person away. Let's go ahead and place the responsibility on who committed the crime. Okay? God ain't got nothing to do with this. Okay? So when you guys always say that, when I hear people say things like that, it does absolve and take away the accountability of who actually did what. And that's crazy work to me. Okay? So when you guys come on board and you say certain things like that to me, I'm going to ask you, well, who was that? And what does that look like? And who is that? And what is that? So to make sure that we're not in fairy tale land or delusionalville, okay? Sometimes you just got evil ass people out here in the world. You got malevolent ass people out here that operate in the world. You got people that think that are only for themselves and very selfish and that are very unhealed and that are hurting and want to see other people out here hurting that are operating out here in the world. And so they make everybody else pay the price for the things that they didn't heal from. That's all we're seeing here. A bunch of hurt individuals that are in their darkness, that have not healed, and then they project and they blame everybody else for the dumbass decisions and mistakes that they made. Then they don't want to take any accountability. Then they want to put it off on somebody else. Then they want to tell half stories and half truths about why they got removed or why they got kicked out or why they got reprimanded or why some type of punishment had to come to them or whatever the hell came to them, right? They do this all the time. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. Yeah, my nails are looking good though, aren't they? Yeah, my nails look good. Thank you. We need to heal our own malevolent aspects. That is correct. And the way that you do that is that you go and you start healing with itself. That's how you do that. Everything is consensual at this big age. Boom. Every action has a reaction. That's correct, baby. That's correct. So we got to really have that real conversation about accountability. And that's a conversation that a lot of people don't like to have. They don't like to have that type of conversation. But I think that if you're going to expand and you're going to grow, then you have to be able to take accountability for any actions that you take that may cause harm to another person. Or you may have to accept the fact that, listen, there are times whenever you go out here and you hurt people and you can't expect just because you took accountability that these people are going to forgive you and allow you back into their life. In some cases, you're not allowed to be back in somebody else's life if you cause them harm. It's the L, meaning the lesson that you need to learn. When I think of L's, I don't think of losses. When I think of L's, I think of lessons. Okay? They too broke spiritually to take accountability. Okay. So then if they're too broke spiritually to take accountability, well, you know where that leads. That leads to destruction. You're witnessing all of that in real time right now. You guys are literally witnessing that right in front of your faces. Destruction. Our people are having meltdowns out here. Angry at the world. Angry because they can't find love. Angry because they've been played with. Angry because they don't want to be alone. Angry because they haven't healed from the stuff that happened to them. So then what happens is they start getting into this space where the person that hurt them, they take it out on them forever in some cases. Okay? And then they do realize what they're doing and don't want to take any accountability for it. Okay? But let me tell you what happens to people like that. Sooner or later, if you don't have a compass within to stop doing what you're doing, sooner or later, you're going to come across the right individuals that's going to put a halt to your whole shit. That's the way this goes. That's how this goes. When you're living in destruction, when you're living in malevolency, when you're living in hurt, when you're living in pain, and you refuse to deal with those things that you've been dealing with, it's going to lead you straight to your grave. I've seen it happen a couple times this year. People that I know ain't here no more because they wanted to be malevolent and they wanted to keep coming. They wanted to keep causing pain. They wanted to keep, and then they died. They was taken right out their damn bodies. Didn't wake up. Not really. Throwing the balance too far out of whack, black hole always going to collapse things. Boom. Observation without adaptation is important or you become the victim. Boom. Facts and truth. It is the inevitable outcome. Boom. You can't absorb anything. That is correct. Observe, but don't absorb. That is the number one rule right there. So, I gave y'all my take about the Jay-Z Pusha T situation. I call cap. I call cap on that. I don't believe that. Okay? Now, I know y'all want to believe, and I'm not saying the man didn't do that kind of stuff. I'm just saying the time period that they're given, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Is that where heart attacks come from, not healing the heart space? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because what happens is a lot of people carry a lot of dense energy in their heart space. And that energy has to travel somewhere. So if you're holding on to the dense energy in the heart space and you're not releasing, yes, it could bring on strokes. It can bring on heart attacks. It could put years. It can make you age faster. Okay? All types of stuff can happen whenever you're not healed. Don't, Lori 1222. I keep hearing we are getting fed off on. Fed off on? You mean fed on? How can we stop it? Stop paying attention to things that's going to take away your energy that's not for your highest and greatest good. Simple. I think Jay-Z was their dealer for those parties. He could have been. Who was Jay-Z's handler? Is that lady who is the CEO of Rock Nation? Could be. Desiree could be. Very well could be his handler. Probably is the handler. We see it when older couples who are locked in, then when one passes, the other one goes shortly after. That is correct. Heartbroken. And a broken heart is a real thing. That's right. Discernment is key. At D New Wave. Had a coworker pass away in the parking lot before her shift. Heart attack. She was just evil and racist to the core. Heart was in the wrong place and unhealed. This is what you see what I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So with some people, you know what? Someone made a comment on my YouTube channel today. And they said something that was very real. And I really thought about what the person was saying, but I also checked them about their judgment. Because one thing I will tell you is that nobody out here is any better than anybody else out here. Everybody's on the Earth School. Everybody's here. Everybody's learning. If you're on this Earth School, you're learning no matter what level you're operating on. You are still learning. You are still a work in progress. So I had to check that individual in regards to that. Because when they were watching the video that I put up from me bringing some things to light about that situation, one of the things that he asked me was, well, if you knew that this was going on, why didn't you say something then? I'm like, first of all, when it came to that part of it, I had just found out about that not too long ago. First of all. Second of all, it's not my place to get involved in that. And the only reason why I even brought it out in the first place was to establish a motive. Period. What goes on behind a man and a woman, closed doors, is on them. People make the choices to be in certain relationships. That's their business. Okay? It only becomes a problem when your hurt and your pain starts leaking out to the public and you start trying to drag people into a situation that don't have nothing to do with nothing. Then it becomes a problem. Then I have to nip the shit in the bud because certain things aren't being said. When you start talking about healing, and I want you guys to understand something. If you have to bring out the things that people aren't talking about or not willing to talk about, you have to bring it to the forefront. Otherwise, it just simmers and bubbles and spills over, things of that nature. When I came out to address the situation exactly the way that I saw it and called it out to the forefront to shed light on the situation, it was one, hoping that this would shed light not only for everybody that was involved in watching the stupid shit, but also for the individual who was operating in hurt and pain, that was causing all this drama to go on to begin with, and had been living in this drama for the past 3 years. Same cycle. Okay? That's the whole point, to be bringing it to the forefront. I want you guys to understand something. Sometimes it requires, not all times, but sometimes it requires to bring certain things to the forefront and put a spotlight on it. Not because I'm being malicious. It's because, well, if we're going to talk about the shit, then let's go ahead and lay all the cards on the damn table so that way people can have a conversation and then niggas can figure out where they're going to go from here. Okay? That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Now, this individual made a comment on YouTube. And what he said was, and it was very interesting, he said, Rashad Jamal, Young Pharaoh, what was the other names he was giving? He gave a couple other names. What's the name, the dude with the cult guy? The guy that got caught up there that was running a cult? The hell was his name? The brother? Nature Boy. He mentioned Nature Boy, and he mentioned somebody else. And he said, an individual said, you know what they all have in common? He said what they all have in common is that all of them were seeking power. All of them needed guidance. They didn't have any guidance from an elder to guide them. So they got drunk off of their own shit. Basically their own Kool-Aid. And that's pretty much what led them to where they are now today. I agreed with him, because you do have a lot of young men out here that do obtain power very quickly because of their knowledge base, the things that they know. But what happens if that individual didn't take the time out to heal? What happens, and what are they displaying to the public? That's something that we need to actually take some time out and take a hard look at and really think about that. Because every single last one of them led themselves to their own demise in their own individual ways. You didn't want to listen when people were trying to help you. You didn't have the right elders over you to give you the guidance that you needed, and then you weren't listening anyway. You're drunk off your own power. You don't want to listen. It leads all of them being led to the same space. Now, that is interesting because all of them were led to jail. Every single last one of them. Very interesting, isn't it? When someone says, well, I don't see, well, how is it that these folks can be out here and talk about this, that, and third, but all of a sudden they ain't jail, they must be agents. It's one of the most ignorant conversations I've ever heard in my life. One of the most ignorant statements, one of the most ignorant conversations. You don't see myself or B. Dell or RKs or 19 Keys or anybody else out there that's speaking, moving the way they was moving. You don't see that. So we're not moving that way. That's because we had elders that influenced us, that taught us, okay, that helped us, that we learned from, that we had a great deal of respect for. And we took those teachings and we applied it within ourselves. Those elders who came up before us, they didn't go to jail. You didn't see Dr. Phil Valentine going to jail. You didn't hear Dr. Blair going to jail. You didn't hear about, the only one that you heard about going to jail was Dr. Malachi York. That's the one who went to jail. Everybody else didn't go to jail. And that in and of itself is something to think about. So it's something that I don't think that people take the time out to really think about. It's like we have to be people. I don't know. There's some weird thing with the people who aren't thinking. They're just not having any type of critical thought. They're not having any emotional intelligence. There's just something going on there, or they're just not properly thinking. Okay, not properly thinking about certain things. seeing certain moves that people make and then questioning, something seems strange about this. And I'm saying to myself, just the mere fact that this and this and this happened should already tell you that that person isn't what they say that they are, but for some reason you have a hard time discerning this. It's kind of like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of individuals who are cool with certain individuals who know they ain't doing right. But as long as they're not doing wrong to them, they'll go ahead and give it a pass because they're not doing them wrong. Not realizing that the person who's doing everybody else wrong, when they run out of people to do wrong, they're going to eventually turn on the person who turned the other cheek. You're just as implicit as the person who was doing something wrong. But it gives that kind of vibe with the audience. Well, hey, look, look, I said what it was. You know, that's their business. But that's the energy that's going to be harvested now. That's a dangerous game that folks are playing right now. That energy is going to be harvested. So I saw that for what that was a while back, and I had already stated that a different game is being played here. And some people understand certain games and some people don't. And then at the same time, people just may have different visions. But it's gonna be some shit when it comes out, when you guys find out that he's been in the hole the entire time since he got locked up. But that's a whole different conversation for a different day. So then the question you got to ask yourself is that who has been talking the whole time? It's called AI voiceovers. You can get somebody on the other phone, right? Hold the phone up. Put somebody else on another phone, right? Have them put a recorder up and have them play it, right? And make it seem like that person's talking when you're utilizing the AI voiceover. The problem is the folks don't think that deep. You're not discerning the energy. You're not discerning the cadence. You're not discerning the tone. You're not discerning anything. You just run down the block because you heard someone that sounded like him and you ran down the block with it. Well, that's on y'all. It ain't my job to help y'all discern. It's your job to be able to discern. Okay? Discernment is really key here right now, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be more stupid stuff coming out, more stuff, and I'm not entertaining none of it because I already told you where I was at with it. That's on them now. I came out and went in, said what I had to say, and went on about my business. The video was seen. But just because the video, listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. That ego, I literally just got them to finish saying about the ego. I just got them finished addressing about the ego. I just got finished addressing about that. That's okay. Now listen to this. Lynch says he's been sounding different since he's been doing lives in jail. That's because he never did a single live in jail. I just sat up here and told you he's been in the hole since he got locked up. I just told y'all that. So if he's been in the hole the whole time since he's gotten locked up, because he told me when I spoke to him, when I channeled him, we spoke, he told me. So if he's been in the hole the whole time since he's been locked up, with no explanation as to why he was placed in the hole as soon as he got locked up, then who the hell's been talking? It's up for y'all to critically think and to discern. And the fact that you said the energy's been off should have told you that something was amiss. But, as I stated before, she thinks y'all stupid. And for all intents and purposes, a lot of you were. A lot of y'all were. Yep. At Man Ray Part 2, absolutely the truth. And then, okay. Well, you know. Okay, now he's saying, you right. That's all I'm saying, guys. You got to take some time out to discern. Just like we got to discern everything out here. Y'all can't be so easily led and so easily fooled on certain things. That's why I told y'all to take the salt bath, because the salt bath is going to help you guys get all that. There was witchcraft and all types of stuff placed on this audience anyway. If y'all just would have just washed yourselves off and got yourself cleaned off like I told y'all to, you would have been able to discern. But everybody want to make fun of that. Okay, well, don't listen. You know what I'm saying? And keep being played. Keep being looked like the fool. Keep being played. Keep your face being played in, like she's playing your face. Keep being disrespected. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, but was his lives being, was it video lives or were these phone lives? And I don't recall them being lives as opposed to interviews. And that's something different at Raquel Styles. I saw him doing interviews from jail. I don't recall seeing him do no live from jail. So make sure you understand the difference between the two, because I don't recall him doing no lives, but I did see him doing interviews. In his particular case, he could do an interview. Someone said, I've been questioning about how he has so long to speak in jail to make them videos. Well, you know, again, critical thinking. When I went to jail for a day, they made men cut the string out of my yoga pants. So way they let you have a phone except the one in the cell, and you get one call only. Yeah, they let you call. I think the call is like 10 to 15 minutes or something like that. When I used to get calls from my artist, when he was locked up, and he was in state prison, he was locked up in Maryland. As a matter of fact, he was locked up in Maryland. And it'd be a tops 15 minutes tops. 15 minutes tops. Nah, black screen, basically, it could have been a three-way call to do it. That's how I call my cousin. Sometimes this girl calls me and just mutes while I talk to him. Yeah, I've had that happen before, too. I had that happen before, except he told me he's not even allowed to make phone calls. So there's that. I ain't gonna lie, do members out here in Cali be having phones and going live and shit for real? But it does depend on where you are. Yes, it does. Phoenix Blue says, they calls me 15 minutes at best, and that's at best. Yes. My spiritual team wouldn't let me listen since he got, okay. Yeah. So some of y'all was discerning. Now, let's get to talking about Nicki Minaj. Let me go ahead and drop the science on Nicki Minaj real quick. First of all, I'm not upset about Nicki's political views because I could care less about her political views. Let me just start there. I don't care about Nicki's political views. Nicki is not one of us. Let me be clear. Let me break some stuff down to y'all because I know y'all got caught up in that whole thing, and I want to break some stuff down to y'all. Nicki Minaj is not us, meaning that she was born in Trinidad. Her parents are Trinidadian. When Nicki Minaj came to the States because of who her parents are and what they did, she was able to get residency. Nicki's had residency in the States for at least 20 years. Residency. What she's trying to do now is become a U.S. citizen. Not the same thing. Okay? Now, I saw a lot of people calling her a sellout, calling her this, and I'm calling her that. Uncle Tom, a coon, this, that, and the third. And I'm thinking, I don't know what planet that any of you guys are living on, but most foreigners that come to the United States, that come from a different country, have came to the United States to capitalize off of our culture. and make a lot of money doing so. This isn't nothing new. This has been going on since they created music. This isn't something that just started happening. Now that I established that, what's happening is Nicki needed protection because allegedly Jay-Z and Desiree Perez and other people that are highly connected to him were coming after her. She married Kenneth Petty for the muscle. However, that backfired because of his past and what he did when he was 16 years old. Now, I did look at the actual court documents and read those court documents. And all I'm going to say is that they definitely railroaded that brother. But I'm not defending him. The bottom line is he took the plea. He accepted the charge. It is what it is. Now, we're going to say for shits and giggles that this is just what he is and who he is. In her mind, she needs protection. She needs muscle. Okay? Now, y'all might not know him in terms of the music industry, but he is known on the executive side and the music industry and the streets. He is known. He let his girl be at the forefront. He stays in the background. Okay? Now, she needed something that was going to have a greater power than somebody like a Hove. Because Hove, quote unquote, is a billionaire. Okay? Beyonce, his wife, they got a lot of money. They can make a lot of things happen. They can put calls in. They can stop a lot of things. So, with her coming out and expressing and saying the things that she's saying now, is because of the strategic move that she made, which was to team up side by side with Donald Trump. Now, don't think that Donald Trump don't see her, because he definitely sees her. However, he likes her. Okay? He likes her. Because she's a straight shooter. She says whatever she thinks, just like him. However, she's only going to go so far with that dude, because he's not going to let her get that close. She's going to get close to him just enough, but not enough to where he's going to be affected by her. But she's useful. And that's the way he sees her. You are useful. She can be utilized as a tool. It brings more attention to him. And he is an attention whore. So now that you understand what's happening here, she took that position to gain protection. Now that she's in with Trump, now what do you see her doing? She's out here now ousting Jay-Z. She's out here ousting everybody now, left and right, exposing everybody now. Notice that she wasn't going this hard until she teamed up with Trump. It was a power move. Okay? It was simply a power move. Who's JS? Well, I mean, I told y'all about B years ago. Y'all didn't listen to me either. I've been exposed that about B. I've been told y'all what she was on. I told y'all this 4-5 years ago. So she ain't saying nothing I already didn't tell y'all already. She did drop the T on the rituals. She's not telling y'all that I already didn't expose already 5, 4, 3, 2 years ago. She's not telling you anything that I already didn't tell y'all. Don't act like this is something new that y'all heard. You're just hearing it from her, who's somebody who's deep within the industry. That's the difference, but I've been exposed it. Okay? What we're not going to do is we're not going to sit up here and pretend like, oh, I just now heard about this. No, you guys need to give credit to the individual who came and told and spoke about this. Because you've been heard about it. You've been knew about it. They're on the files that just dropped. Well, I just already talked about Jay-Z and Pusha T, and I told you I don't believe that. because of the time period that they're saying that that happened. I don't believe that. They're trying to say Jay did it before he dropped Reasonable Doubt. That's cap. That's cap. Yep. Okay. Doug B says, if you've been around for a while, these last couple years, there's been some we heard said 1 billion times. That is correct. That is correct. Because here are the facts. Here are the real facts of the matter. And maybe perhaps you guys need to check your inner lens. No, not at that time he wasn't. Not when he Reasonable Doubt dropped. Hell no. But listen, here's what I want you to do is I want you guys to take a look at your inner lens. Was any of you people there to see any of these things take place? We know about the underage thing, and I'm not talking about that. And Rockstar Hippie, get out my face before I knock your ass out my damn live. Because you ain't listening. You too busy emotional and you're not listening. Be quiet and listen. I'm talking about current events at Da Vinci Code 9. It says current events. I'm going to ask you again. Was any of you there to see any of this stuff take place? So let me ask you another question. If you guys weren't there to see any certain things take place, it's just a critical thinking question I'm going to ask. I'm going to play devil's advocate just for 1 second. If you weren't there, I want you to pay attention to how we perceive people and how not just only celebrities, okay, but also how we perceive people just within the internet community, the online community, okay, how we perceive people. Right? So then, what factual evidence do any of us have to go on when we say things about certain individuals? When did we stop needing receipts or facts or evidence when people are accused of something that they don't know if they did or not? When did that become a thing? Now, yes, we have heard stories. Someone who's worked in the music business, I have heard a lot of stories. Okay, I never saw anything though. I never seen a damn thing. But I have heard stories, but I never saw anything. We go within, it will tell us. Okay, at badass dame _1. That's very smart for you to say that. You go within, and your aspects or your inner child or your higher self or your ancestors will tell you that this is what has occurred. We made the cancel culture. Boom. There it is. The Jamaican term is licky licky. Just believe any and everything, no discernment. Some of us was around a lot of things why they stayed out the music industry. I just had this convo with my youngest child. Spirit always will tell the truth. But here's the thing. What if your first source of information isn't coming from spirit? It's coming from somebody outside of spirit. What if it's coming from a forum? What if it's coming out from a blog? What if it's coming out from a not so known magazine? What if it's coming out from TMZ? What if it's coming out from, all the different news outlets that we have? What if it's coming out from there? Yes, posting it. We heard the stories, and they were all similar, real people, though. We heard the stories. Listen to what you just said. We heard the stories. They were all similar, real people, though. Now, Set Your Frequency says something very interesting. She says, it's strange they just happen to throw black people in there to throw people off attention, off of them, not saying they are innocent. Do you believe the evidence located in the files? There's millions of pages of evidence. Well, let me tell you the way I operate. That's just like me reading a book and me believing everything that was written in the book just because it was written. When I go and I look at evidence, I go within to get my answers. I don't just run down the block with what somebody tells you, because already they leaked some stuff out that's not adding up. They already leaked some stuff out there that ain't adding up. When they put out that situation, when they said that Jay-Z did that thing back in with Harvey Weinstein, back before he put out Reasonable Doubt, I knew it was cap. And then they said that Pusha T was there watching. I knew that was cap. How old was Pusha T at that time? Y'all didn't even know who the hell Pusha T was. You never even heard of Clips. Clips didn't even come out yet. Cap. That's why I said if they would have said it during the time that he became president of Def Jam, that would have been more believable. But they're saying it took place before he put out his first album, Reasonable Doubt, when he was a dope boy. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. What happened to intuition? Boom. Boom. You still have to critically think and use your discernment. You got to research. Boom. People be believing those people because of emotional bonding. Boom. These are things, and listen, guys, I want you to be clear about something. I am not saying that these things did not take place. I'm saying that I'm an individual that likes to go inward to get my answers. I like to do my proper research. I don't just run down the block because I want to see somebody go down really bad. I don't do stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, every single last one of you on this live right now could be accused of doing something, and you may have done it, or you may not have done it. Let's just say you didn't do it. But because somebody had an issue with you from the beginning, they was giving you the side eye, they got an issue with you. I know that nigga did it. I don't know. I know that motherfucker did it right there. I know he did it. And you ain't even did shit. What I don't like is when people have a habit of putting people on these pedestals that they didn't ask for. As happened to me many times. I had some damn girl tell me, oh, it was so disappointing, to see such a person that operating on a high level, that's talking about this, that, that's talking about this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. This is when I did that live, when I was joking about how you got to get yourself spiritually cleaned off and find your husband, and the way you operate with a husband that has a lot of money, you got to find your spiritual husband, things like that. And she was talking about how disappointed she was. And I was so disappointed in the fact that she didn't take the time out to not only listen to what I said, but she didn't take the time out to discern what I said. It was just she heard what she wanted to hear, which I always point that out about us as women. Unhealed women do that a lot. They hear what they want to hear. They don't hear what's actually being said. They hear what they want to hear. And it happens a lot. Do not put me on a pedestal. I am a human being just like you. I am a work in progress just like you. Don't put me on no goddamn pedestal. Consider me a guide. I ain't your mama. I ain't your damn daddy. I'm not none of that shit. Now that I said it like that, now we can be on an even kill. This is what people do entirely too much. You put these celebrities on a pedestal. And then when they fail or they make a mistake, you throw them away. You do it to people within the conscious community. No one's allowed to make a mistake. No one's allowed to disagree. No one's allowed to have a different opinion. No one's allowed to make a mistake. Everything has to be perfect. Everything has to fit your own little thing of how you see things. Okay, now look at this right here. Now, this bitch ass nigga's gonna get up off my damn live. Okay. So, folks will put you on a pedestal and then blame you for their shortcomings. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Then when I approach it from a grounded level, you get stupid motherfuckers like this that just made that bullshit comment on my Instagram. And he got sent to Blockville. And that's another thing I'm going to let y'all know right now. My pettiness level has went up to 10. So here's how it's going to go now. If you even so much as like when someone is being very nasty and disrespectful towards me, now, I didn't say difference of opinion. I said nasty and being disrespectful. If you so much even like that shit, your ass is getting blocked. You come in here insulting me, blocked. Period. I don't care about you having different opinions. That's cool. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to be disrespectful and be on my shit. You don't get your raggedy asses to help off my damn platform and go play with somebody else where it's safe to play at. Y'all better be lucky that I'm in my healed state. I already blocked him. I already blocked his ass, Shamanic Alchemist. He's no more. I'm just letting y'all know right now. Y'all going straight to Blockville. I don't give a damn. I ain't always get followers. I can always get new ones. Yeah, find something safe to do. You got to teach people, you got to set boundaries, and you got to teach people how to act when they step into your house. Well, if that's what was done, then that's what was done. Like I said, that energy is going to be harvested. That's all I can tell you. That energy is going to be harvested, and it's going to be utilized. Hey, Val. How are you? And well, that's the wife doing that. And that's her intention, to destroy his whole shit. I just hope that a lot of y'all don't fall for it. And whenever he gets out, allow him to come out and express whatever it is that he needs to express. But like I said before, hell hath no fury unless a woman is scorned. One thing a woman can do is she can build you up, but if you piss her off, she'll tear your whole empire down. And that's what you're witnessing. The tearing down of his whole entire empire. That's what you're witnessing. And he contributed to it. And that's my brother. I talked to him about it, but he did contribute to it. He didn't listen. Well, head of the business, is he? Someone asked me, when is he going to be released? I'm going to tell you when he's going to be released. Rashad Jamal is the key to his own freedom. And I told my brother this. He is the key to his own freedom. What do I mean by this? When the anger subsides, When the ego death happens, when accountability happens, that's when you'll see him get free. Because he is my Risha brother. And I did talk to my parents about him last night. That's when he'll get free. He is the key to his own freedom. And there won't be nobody that'll be able to stop that from happening. Once he decides that he's going to take accountability and gets rid of the anger. All right. You kind of said that years ago. Yes. Let me tell y'all something about karma and how it operates. Because a lot of y'all don't know the game of karma, but I teach about karma all the time. I specialize in this karma. Okay, I specialize in it. When you are in your karma, anything can get to you. Your protections come down, and anything can get to you. On a spiritual level, on a physical level, karma, when karma is involved, all those things go out the window. And I had to explain that to brother about that last night when I spoke to him. I had to explain to him. Okay? Anything can get to you when you are in your karma. How do you know not to get involved in somebody else's karma? I could not get involved in anybody else's karma. Shango said, step back. I didn't fully understand at the time what the hell was going on because I didn't have it all. I didn't have all the information at first. Shit was looking weird to me. But he did get sat down. You see, when a person goes through something like that, you guys got to understand that correction is not pretty. When a person has a destiny, something that they made a contract with Source on, and there are assignments and things that a person has to do, and that person is being told by his own parents, his own spiritual parents, his ancestors, his spirit guides, etc., yo, the way you're moving, you know, don't do this, don't do that, pay attention to this person's intent, and you're not listening to any of these things, and you go against the advice of your own spiritual protection, well then, now you subjugated yourself to get everything that's coming to you. He said that they threw him in a hole as soon as he got there, and he's been in the hole ever since. When I hear that, you know what I think to myself? I said, okay, if they put you in the hole right away, okay, you're being broken down. Because however you was operating out here in these streets wasn't the way you were supposed to be operating here in these streets. And you were hard-headed. So now we're going to put you somewhere where we're going to break you all the way down. And you're going to be in that confinement with self until you are broken all the way down. Because we did not create you to have you come on this planet to be destructive. You are supposed to be teaching a whole community. You got responsibilities. So if you're not going to listen to me, then I'm going to sit your ass down until you do listen to me. That's how that goes. Because your ancestors have dominion over you, ladies and gentlemen. Whether or not you are aware of this or not, whether or not you want to acknowledge it or not is irrelevant. Your ancestors have dominion over you. No, they're not trying to kill his soul. That's incorrect information. Know the difference between that which you just said and correction. The Orishas don't sit you down to hurt you. They sit you down to bring correction. We got the same parents. Correction. It's not even about that. At I am Lucas, I am Luke 4:56. It ain't even about that. It's not about the ego. It's not about who can take who. It's not about any of that. What this is about, ladies and gentlemen, is about lessons that need to be learned. That's the whole point here. Y'all supposed to be learning. This ain't about gossiping. This ain't about delving into negativity. What lessons are you guys learning here today, fellas? Every single last one of you, based upon what you are observing, should be learning lessons from this. This is not about gossip. This is not about delving in negativity. This is not about that. This is, what are you learning? What is my brother teaching you? Because believe it or not, even though he's in there, he's still teaching you. It's all in perspective on how you see things. That is correct. Old ways will never open up the new doors. That is correct. Love yourself. That is correct. And the Orisha told him not to do that, and he did it anyway. So that's, you see what I'm saying? Like they told him not to do those different things, and he didn't listen anyway. Okay. Phoenix 83 Blue says his teachings was never supposed to stagnate, but to evolve, much like all of our texters. Okay. Or much like our healers. Okay. So when you're hearing this version of him speak, does it look like anybody's elevating, or does it look like people are being torn down, causing drama and negativity? This is how you know something is amiss. That's how you discern. That's how you discern, ladies and gentlemen. Read the energy. If you guys can't read energy, you're going to be in a world of trouble out here in this world. A world of trouble. I love when you Vine so raw, helping those who are willing to make the necessary changes in yourself and discerning for yourself. Thank you, beautiful one. It shall resonate. Thank you. Thank you very much. Damn, if he was doing that, then man, I could see why this is happening to him. Okay, do you think that things like this happen to people just out the blue? Okay, listen, guys, let me put y'all up on game about something about originals and spiritual people, very powerful spiritual people that have missions. Number one, you're going to be able to recognize them when you see them. It's going to be something about their aura, something about them that draws you to them, right? You're going to see something about them. Now, you may not be able to put it into words or be able to understand what it is, but there's something about them. Okay, those are the gods and the goddesses, okay? Now, because of the power that the original holds, we have the power to elevate a community. We have the power to tear down a community. We have the power of influence over communities and over people. So now, if you understand what I'm saying to you, that's a lot of power to be wielding if you are operating in an unhealed space. Now, that is what you're witnessing right now. Somebody operating his page, operating the power, wielding it from an unhealed space. Now, the teacher's in the building right now, so I'm going to school y'all so y'all understand what's going on right now. Okay? Power is not for everybody. Not everybody can handle power. And I want you guys to see what happens to people when they receive power, when they're operating from an unhealed space. You are witnessing it. Okay, at Demigod LS3. Then what happens is that You find the teacher that you resonate with or the guy that you resonate with so you continue to learn. But always remember, your biggest teacher is going to be self. Remember that. With great power comes great responsibility. Absolutely. We all have our lessons to learn and it will affect those around us, but his is just public. That's the only difference. Boom. Heavy is the crown. Absolutely. And let me tell y'all something. If you guys seriously think, and I don't even tell y'all about my own stuff. I keep that to myself for the most part. And I do share certain things with y'all at times. But for the most part, the evolvement that I continue to go through and the expansion of consciousness that I continue to go through on a regular basis has definitely taught me and shown me a lot. That's why I'm sitting up here and I'm schooling y'all so you guys understand what to look for. Somebody like him would have never ended up in jail had he would have listened. Why? Because his protection would have made sure it didn't happen. When you're on path and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, trust me when I tell you that your protection will step in and intervene and move out the way what's not supposed to be there. I'm a prime living example of this. I can't tell you how many times while I'm on this mission that I'm on, people trying to come in and disturb what it is that I'm doing, try to disturb my team. And every single time they fail. They get kicked out. They get removed out the picture. Then they're bitter. Then they want to go and team up with other people. Then they want to try to gang up. And it's the same shit. And they're going to fail again. They're going to continue to keep failing. Why? Because my mission is ordained by source. Period. Who's going to move against the Most High? Not near a single human. That being said, let them fall where they may. I got work to do. So I'm schooling y'all that when you run across individuals that are on their missions, nothing is going to touch these individuals. Do you guys have any idea how many times people have sent voodoo, witchcraft, death spells, death magic? I can't even begin to tell you the worst things, rituals. All types of shit to try to take my ass right on up out of here. I can't make this up. If I told you the names of the people who actually tried to do this, y'all's jaw will fall to the floor. But now what's happening is that they're dealing with their own intent on themselves. The same intent they had for me will now be the intent that they have for themselves now. And they will suffer the consequences of their own actions because now they are in karma. You see, when you move against an individual, y'all like to call them chosen ones. That's ego to me. When you move against an individual that has assignments and things that they need to get done, and you trying to short that, you trying to short the missions that Source gave them, you trying to short the missions that the Orishas gave them, you trying to short the missions that the ancestors gave them, you're trying to short the missions that were given from the higher ups, and you think that you just gonna slide with that? No, you gonna get your ass what's gonna happen. So when you see stuff like that happening, like with young Pharaoh, what happened to him? Very powerful brother. Very, very powerful brother. Very powerful brother. But what'd y'all see him do? Powerful. That brother had the whole youth rocking with him. They had to shut that down. That was too much. Oh, nah, nigga. Nah. That's too much right there. That's going to be a problem. He's a problem. Same with Shah Jamal. That's a problem. So you already going to have the odds against you already when you prove that you have the power to be able to influence. You're already going to have opposition coming for your head. You're automatically going to have them agents coming for your head. That's automatic. That's guaranteed that you're going to have those types of enemies coming for your head. They're going to plot. They're going to do all types of stuff. They're going to send their own people to you. They're going to send people that look like you. They're going to do everything that they can to shut you down. Why? Because of your influence. And originals are the only ones that have the ability to influence the masses naturally, not without doing a sacrifice, not without doing a ritual. We ain't got to do all that shit. We naturally have that light and that power within us to be able to command and also to be able to influence. Period. That is what a real original has the power and the capability of being able to do. So if you see an original going to jail, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. That's some shit they did to themselves. Listen, ain't no power out here strong enough, big enough, I don't give a damn what it is, that has the power to move against an original and the protection against an original. They don't have it. It don't exist. So if you see something like that taking place, I guarantee you 10-1, that original got off path, didn't take the advice of his protection, didn't take the advice of the ancestors, didn't take the advice that was supposed to be given, did not do the things that they were supposed to do. Oh, okay. Oh, now you in karma now. Now you took these actions. Now you just created karma for yourself. Now your protection's with that because you can't. Listen, they can't do nothing for you when you're in karma, fam. They can't protect you. They can't do nothing for you when you're in karma, fam. Be clear. Now anything can get out here and get you. Now anything can go out here and smack you around. Now anybody can come and mess with you and arrest you and do all types of shit. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you guys witnessed play out right in front of your faces 3 years ago. It was that. Like I said, he was never supposed to put his hands on anybody. Karma. As soon as he went that route, it was over with. Now, some of y'all might be asking questions like, well, why does it seem like, that we get harsher punishment than others? Because not everybody's an original. And just because they got brown skin does not make them an original. Okay? Originals suffer harsher punishments because we got missions that we came here to do. Remember, there's only 144,000 of you that exist. Okay? So you got missions to accomplish. You got things to do. You don't have time to be playing around with the riffraff out here. So if you out here messing around and playing around and doing all types of stuff and doing all types of, okay, well then, what you expect is going to happen? No, at Goddess of Love, absolutely not. Go back and listen to the live, baby, because you lost in the sauce. I am schooling y'all and telling y'all how this goes so you know what you are looking at. So why we not going to jail? Why we not getting locked up? Because we are on path. Our protection is intact. We're doing what we're instructed to do, and we don't step outside of that. And as long as we don't step outside of that, our protection is going to be what it's going to be. Period. A koi latte, that is correct. Yes, it will be at honey macchiato, yes. So all I'm asking you guys to do from here on out is just simply observe. Don't absorb, simply observe. Watch what's happening, watch what's taking place, and you'll be able to see who's in their karma and who's not. You'll be able to see how certain energies come together, how certain dark energies come together, and individuals that are in their karma, you're going to see a whole bunch of shit that they'll do that you're not going to see Isis Wisdom do at all. I don't have to go out of my way and plot and plan. I don't have to go out here and get voiceovers to prove my point. I don't have to go out here and lie to people. I don't have to go out there and do none of that. My presence, my being, speaks for itself. Either you discern it or you don't. My energy speaks for itself. Either you discern it or you don't. That's it. That's it. Either real recognizes real, or you don't recognize a damn thing because you ain't real. And there's a lot of people out here that's not real. There's a lot of y'all out here wearing masks. There's a lot of y'all out here that's not being authentic. There's a lot of y'all running out here not healing. That's why you can't discern half the time, because you're running around here unhealed. That's why it's easy for you to get caught up in the drama and gravitate towards the unhealed people, because all you're doing is listen to a bunch of unhealed Negroes. They ain't teach you nothing about uplifting the community. They ain't teach you nothing about how to elevate your consciousness. They're not promoting that you need to heal. They're not telling you the positive things that you need to do to get to where you got to go. Listen to the messages and the things that are being talked about and where the energy is being spent. That is how you're going to be able to discern, ladies and gentlemen. And either you're down with the highest and greatest good of self, or you're down for the downfall of yourself. Because believe it or not, what you attract is what you are. That's what you are. That's who you are. What you gravitate to is what you are. So if you gravitate to negativity and bullshit, that's because you're negativity and bullshit. If you gravitate to what's real, it's because your ass is real. That's why the saying goes, real recognizes real. That is correct. So when y'all out here and y'all getting caught up in the riffraff and all that type of stuff, and you're saying, I don't understand what's going on, I'm having a hard time discerning. Go wash your ass, first of all. Go wash your ass first. Go do your spiritual baths. Because if you're doing your spiritual baths and knowing your own energy, you would have been quickly been able to discern. That energy over there is dark and heavy. Dark and heavy, unhealed. Where intention goes, the energy flows. Exactly, a koi latte, that is it. I can be real negative, but double negative makes a positive. Do better. And just heal. Start with the healing. To be honest with you, I'm going to tell y'all some real stuff. I don't even really have an issue with anyone at this point, because I said what I needed to say. Right? I have no more issues about anything. Once I brought the truth to the forefront for that light to shed on what it really is, then y'all, at that point, it's up for y'all to be able to go out here and do this, that, and third. But the last thing that I'm concerned about is anybody coming for me and trying to harm me in any kind of way, because they're going to find out very quickly that's going to be a bad idea. You see, my ancestors are also Loas. Also Risha. Those are ancestors of mine. If anybody looks like they finna petition any of my family members to come for me, watch what happens. They're gonna see what's gonna happen to their ass. It ain't gonna be me doing it. Yes, y'all keep asking me the same question. At Lizzie Monet, she said, I just need to learn how to keep my mouth shut and just listen. Boom. Aye, bobo. I got missions to do and I got missions to complete. And I ain't got time for the okie doke. I don't have time for it. Know who's taking real missions. Pay attention who's really operating on real missions and those who are not. Because I'm always going to turn something negative into a teachable moment. This is y'all's teachable moment right now. Remember this. All this is a teachable moment. Y'all should be learning. Learning what not to do. I don't know if another shutdown is coming or not. And yes, it is already in motion. They already told me. Hey, Candace. Hey, baby. Badass Dame, and I'm the student. Isis, are you creating a physical school that members can attend at some point, or is everything only online? Later on down the road, I do plan on putting together a physical school, but you're going to have to fly to get there because it's going to be on an island. That's all I can tell you. Can't tell you nothing else. But yes, I do plan on having a physical school. Migo Chris says, can you talk about your new services? Are you on the website, Migo? Make sure if you're not on IsisWisdom.com, make sure you log on to my website, IsisWisdom.com. Goddesses, I created a service just for specifically you. Okay? And this service, or this ritual, is going to place a lot of layered protection around you. This is specifically for women who have suffered from domestic violence, have suffered from violence, have suffered from disrespect from the masculines in any type of way, or anybody else for that matter. Those who have been gang stalked or stalked. Those who just basically fear for their lives just because of the relationships that they're in and they feel like they can't get out of, things of that nature. Women that don't even have that going on should probably should have this protection because you never know. Okay. The hatred for women is at a all-time high for the masculines. And a lot of things are being amplified into the masculines right now in terms of things that they haven't dealt with during this time period. Okay. Some of them are crashing out. Some of them don't know how to properly express. Some of them don't know how to properly direct their energy the proper way. Okay. A lot of them are not healing because they think that's a bad thing. Or think they're going to be labeled, or they think they're seen as weak, you know. So this ritual is specifically to have you have protection, place protection, layers of protection around you. Okay. That's what this is for. Okay. It is a quantum ritual. And I also want to let you guys know I will be doing rituals for the next, for the rest of the year, once a month. Okay. This ritual is called the Divine Goddess Quantum Self-Love Protection Ritual. It takes place February 21st, 2026 at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom. Registration is already open. Go to IsisWisdom.com, go to events, and go get registered for it. This is going to be very, very, very important for a lot of women this year, that you get this particular ritual put in, you get the spirit, this other things put in place for you. Okay? It's a very powerful. Also, even energetic spiritual attacks, it's even going to protect you from that as well. Okay? But you guys need to come and get that service because there's a lot of women that I've seen die last year when they didn't have to. Okay? But I'm going to let you know up front, stuff's going to be removed out of your life. People that don't mean you well in terms of trying to cause you harm, they're going to be removed out of your life. You're going to be sealed off away from people that are not good for you. Ooh, excuse me. So, make sure you're ready for that. This is a ritual, and I'm doing it once this year, and that's in February. Good for you. You're welcome. You are welcome. Now, I got another ritual that's coming up in March called Fame. Oh boy. Y'all going out now. The price is going. That's going to be a little pricey for some of y'all because this is not for the play in terms of everything that you get with Fame. Source already told me what to charge y'all, so y'all gonna pay a couple dollars for that one. Okay. because it's everything that comes with that once you do that ritual. It's a quantum ritual, but it's called fame. And also, I'm even offering a VIP service. Like I'll have the ritual, right, that I do with the group ritual. And then I have a side service, which is called a VIP service, where I actually give you a particular seal. Okay? Particular seal. That's definitely going to catapult you to a different level. Okay? The price is a little bit different if you get the VIP version where I'm doing one-on-one with you, because that's a one-on-one session that I actually did with you, where I actually give you the seal. Okay? I actually place the seal on you. Okay? Yeah, fame. Fame, F-A-M-E, fame. Okay? This is for aspiring musicians, social media influencers, those who have businesses that have online businesses and they want to blow up their business and blow themselves up, things of that nature. It's for people who want to, because there are people out here, there are a lot of people out here that want to be social media influencers, and they can make a lot of money and get endorsements off of that. Okay, it's for up and coming people like that, or for people who are established but they haven't been able to get past a certain hump. Okay, it's going to catapult them right on up out of here. Ice is a cosmic wizard out here laughing out. This stuff is exciting, not gonna lie. I told y'all last year that 2026 was going to be something crazy. I told y'all that I had something for y'all in 2026. Now, I don't know if y'all thought I was playing, but I told y'all. Okay? The master programmer is cranking out them programs and them rituals. Okay? Y'all better know. And them classes I got coming up. How does this ritual work? Like, are you working with our ancestors to put out the protection? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And you have a lot of different ancestors that you don't know nothing about. That ritual is specific to each individual person. Some of y'all got gods and goddesses in your bloodline that you never even knew that you had. Some of y'all have cosmic families that you didn't even know you had in your bloodline. Okay? Half of y'all don't even know nothing about your spirit guides. Or how many you actually have and where they come from. You can do that at Angelic Mo. She says, Mama, can I still do the fame event if I didn't start my business? Yeah, you can do the fame event if you didn't start your business. You're just going to start getting popular all of a sudden. So that'll help you get to the next level. What about women pedophiles, child molesters, women that rape little boys and males overall? A lot of males suffer. It matters too. In this particular case, I'm doing something for the women. And then I'll do another one probably in the summertime for the men. Per three services from ISIS, you'll have to get clearance for some of them. Boom. Yeah, some of them does require clearances. How you find out what? The prices are variable on the site, yes, but not for the event that I'm doing. The event is the same, is a set price. But there are various different prices for the different services and stuff that I offer, yes. Not my God saying she's right. That's funny as hell. This lady's spirit guides are telling her, Phoenix 83 Blue, her spirit guides are telling her, not my God saying she's right. That's funny as heck. It asks, is it possible for two different originals to operate the same avatar? One would be an aspect. But yes, well, yes. Yes, I had to think about what you said and how you asked it. Yes, they can have a different... Wait a minute, let me look at this question again. Hold on. Is it possible for two different originals to operate the same avatar? Yes. Yes. They would be considered aspects at that point. Me looking around. Who said that? Yes, but I got a big one coming up in March that you guys are gonna. I know you guys are gonna jump on this. You would be a fool not to. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is. I'll let y'all know what it is when it gets close to the date. You will see it being released. This particular one I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna talk about it right now. But Fame is coming in March, so get ready for Fame, because Fame is coming in March. At Man Ray Part 2, I do not give a shit about this woman and what she's saying. If you people are stupid enough to listen to her, because we don't really know each other like that. So if you listen to that, that's on you. But I don't give a shit about what she's saying. I don't care about that. It makes no difference to me. That goes to show you the level of what I say. I set up here to touch on something. That level of energy, the low vibrational, the chaos energy continuing to repeat itself over and over again. Now she's going to expose me. She doesn't know me. So everything that woman going to say out of her mouth, she making it up. Nah, I'm just saying someone just came in and it said something to me. Healing right there. Boom. That's it. That is it. Healing. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this live tonight, because I hope I taught y'all some lessons about some things. Yes, he is, and that's my father. Demigod says, is Chaos a primordial God? Yes, he is, and Chaos is my father. And y'all better hope and pray I don't never go to my father and ask my father to step in and intervene on nothing, because that will wipe out the whole shit. My father be like, I can step in and help. No, Pops, we're not calling on you to handle that. No, sir. No. No, let me holler at somebody else over here on the lighter side. Because if Pops get involved like that, my Pops, he get involved. Oh. No. I knew it was an Anunnaki. Chaos gonna do what chaos does. You trying to save us. Shango was also my father. You gotta look at this from an aspect perspective. Another block is coming. Oh, let me see. Yeah, let it go, Man Ray. I don't let it go. Don't even talk about nothing on here no more. How do you know certain deities or gods trying to reach out to you? It's because, how would you know? Is your hearing on? Is your hearing on? Because if none of your clairs are on, then you're not going to know. So if any of your clairs are on, that's how you're going to know. How can you find out about who your ancestors are? Set up an ancestor altar and call down your benevolent ancestors and ask them to come forth, and you will feel the presence of them. I was at work the other day and an older gentleman walked up to me and offered me 2 books. One of them was about Star Wars. The other one was about the FBI. Interesting. Yes, there are Anunnaki dragons. Yes, they do exist. A certain attraction to names or animals, a sign. A gift? Maybe, perhaps? Would they show their names multiple times if they're calling out to you if you're hearing or not on? Yes, they will. Yes. There are various different ways that they'll communicate to you. Now, Man Ray, I don't allow anyone just to communicate to me telepathically. There's all types of protections and things like that that I have in place. There's actually a clearance protocol that you got to go through to contact me telepathically. Okay, it don't work like it doesn't. You just can't just talk to me telepathically. That doesn't work like that. Not me. Okay, not the kid. You got to go through security clearances and shit. So if my protection notifies me and lets me know that you're trying to contact me and it's worth something to talk about, because they're going to check you. They're going to ask you, what is it that you want to discuss? They're going to check you out thoroughly. And then they're going to come and they're going to notify me and let me know that you try to reach out to me and what you want to talk to me about. And they're also going to let me know if you're full of shit or not. If it's a go, they'll tell you you have a clearance to tap in. If it's not, they're going to tell you you can't tap in. That's the way my shit is set up. You can't just get in there. You know, some other shit. Yo, you going to have so many problems. You have so many damn problems. My protection does not play. It's about Cotty. What up? And here's what I'm going to tell you. I wouldn't recommend, if you got ill intent, I wouldn't recommend you reaching out at all. Because if you got ill intent, now you didn't start some shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? That's going to cause problems, you know what I'm saying, for you. So, I wouldn't recommend it if you don't have the best intentions. Primordial Shaman, I'm chilling. Do you know anything about the A blood type on a cosmic level? No, I do not. On a cosmic level, no. Yeah, he knew here. Someone said, I'm scared for him. Mama shed 3 tears out the right eye. Oh my God. Instant ass whooping. Don't do it. No, it's crazy. The way my protection operates is crazy. It's smoke right from the gate. It's like, it's not good. That's all I can tell you. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. I don't know you, so I don't know what type of intentions that you would have. I'm just explaining to you how it works. Is there an agent here? Simona Strong, you stupid. Oh my God. Y'all pay attention to these comments. They try to help you. Pay attention to the comments, baby. They've been around long enough to know. And that's good. No problem, baby. It's all right. It said, run. All right, babies. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get... Now, King Feathers Up, you said, how do you get access to your spiritual gifts? Healing. You got to heal. Don't do it. Don't do it, 720. Alexander, start talking to your higher self and ask to speak to your mother. Just go ahead and live the rest of your life. Reconsider, read some literature. Now here comes DC Chantel. He must went belt to ass. Y'all crazy as hell. Y'all crazy. It's going to be FAFO. Y'all, and you know what's crazy about that? Because they be like, ISIS did something to me. ISIS didn't do shit. What was you doing? I don't know. What y'all do? And then my protection come back. Yeah, we had to tag some asses up because they was playing around. We attacked a couple people's asses up. Well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I already told you my daddy's chaos. Like, stop. Don't play. Sean Goes also my daddy. Don't play. Don't play. That cold ass whipping. Some people be saying they want to be like me at work. I be like, okay. Oh, the Taheem. Hey, Taheem. Those are the Andromedans are the technologically advanced, very extremely technologically advanced beings. They actually help. Oh, I got a message for you. I can't even talk to you on here right now about what I'm gonna. I just got a hit. It's got a ping on you. Of course I know Metatron. Talk to him all the time. And he ain't what these people are saying that he is either, which is crazy. How they be putting all types of negative stuff on Metatron. That's crazy to me. He is not who y'all think he is. What does Superman represent? Elohim. Or Elohai, I should say. Elohai. Elohim is the fallen. Elohai is the unfallen. So when you hear El, because remember his name was El, I think it was Kal-El, I think it is. Elohai. He's real. He is real. What about the Lyrans? Someone said Superman is the son of Father Time. I got an Andromeda's aspect as well. The Flash is very much real. Yes, he is. He definitely is real. Is Megatron is responsible to control all 12 dimensions? Have I explained it? Megatron. You mean Metatron? You talking about Metatron? I need to tap in with him and ask him that because I don't know the answer to that question. That's a good question to ask, though. But yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. Yeah, 999 dimensions. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Taheem. Okay. I enjoyed so much talking to you guys tonight, but I'm getting ready to get off here because I got to sit up here and have a conversation with my spiritual husband tonight, honeys. So I got to get up off of here. Okay? I got to get up off of here and get prepared to talk to my husband. Okay, honey? I have had, yes. You are welcome, babies. Make sure you log on to my website, isiswisdom.com to register for the events. Also, for any quantum healings you need. Also, if you need some readings done, okay, come see me. I also got classes up there. Also, for those who are listening on YouTube, I'm all going to tell you the same thing. Make sure you like and subscribe, okay? Make sure on Instagram, please, I would ask that you forward this live out, okay, to as many people as possible. Also, I ask and request that you repost. And I thank you so much for you guys' support. Love y'all. Bye-bye.